What's up, everybody? Adrian Morrison here, as you probably already know. Welcome to tonight's Profit Power Hour. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen with everybody, and we're going to go over a couple of things. So let me just share my screen. I want to make sure everybody can see it. I'm going to turn my webcam on. I'm going to make sure everybody can see me. I'm doing something unique this week. I'm streaming live on Facebook through my fan page as I am doing this webinar. So I just want to make sure everything goes nice and smooth. Everybody should be able to see my screen now. Let me check out your questions. Let me just pop this out. All right, so if you can see me and you can hear me, type in a 1 into the chat box. So type in a 1 if you can see me. Oh, wow, we got tons of 1s. Awesome. All right, we got hundreds of people piling on this week's Profit Power Hour. Now, you can probably see my screen. I always start out the Profit Power Hours on my fan page. So, as you know, I do my $200 cash prize giveaway on my fan page. This is going to be a little bit different this week. We are going to be not making a post of an image like we usually do. I'm going to stay live throughout this entire webinar, and you'll be able to see this video of me right here on my Facebook page. And tonight's topic is 5 simple steps to starting out your online e-commerce business. Okay, so we're going to keep it light tonight. I'm going to do some Q&A for you guys, and I'm going to give you 5 steps that I use or that I recommend to getting started online with your e-commerce business. Now, this can apply to not just e-commerce, but it can apply to any business online, actually. I've been talking to people that are doing consulting, coaching, local marketing, SEO, affiliate marketing, the email marketing. They're trying to build lists, and pretty much these steps apply to everything. So I can see here below, I've just got a couple of comments below the video. For those of you that are watching right now and you are not on the live webinar, you can join the live webinar by going to pph4.com, which is going to give you the ability to actually see my screen as I go over some of this stuff. So, hey D. Kitty Williams, I'd love to see you on here. Linda says twice in one day, double the knowledge. Yes, I spent an hour earlier, 1 full hour of Facebook Living with everybody, so that was fun. We almost broke 100 viewers. I think we peaked out at 95. So I really hope to get more engaged over here. So what we're going to do is we are going to pull up my notepad here, and I'm going to let everybody know if you are on here and you have not yet, go to my Facebook fan page. Just keep it open in a tab. You can get there by going to amfbvip.com. So do that, and we're going to do a cash giveaway here in a little bit, and you will all have the opportunity to win $200, which is going to be really, really fun. Okay, so tonight we are going to be talking about, and I'm just going to write it here in my text file. I've been talking to everybody on my Facebook Live for about, I think, 15 minutes, 20 minutes or so about this, so they already know. But tonight we're going to talk about let me just make it pretty. I'm kind of OCD when it comes to how I use my text file here. So we're going to talk about 5 simple steps to starting your online, let's just say, e-com business. Okay, so we're going to do 5 simple steps to starting your e-com business. Okay, so something that I've been getting asked a lot is just, how do I get started, Adrian? You know, what do I need to do to get started marketing online? And I thought about that this week, and I thought, you know, instead of going advanced on my webinar this week, why don't we keep it simple and cater to some of the newbie related stuff. So we're going to go over these 5 simple steps. I'm going to break it down for you. And then we are going to talk about anything. You know, we're going to do a Q&A. We're going to just do a live Q&A. I'm going to answer some questions in my Facebook live feed. And I'm going to answer some questions obviously here and go to webinar. All right, so if you can see behind me, I don't know what you guys can see actually, because I don't see my my cam on my screen, but on my whiteboard back here, I've got the 5 steps, and step number 1 is obviously where we are going to start. So step number 1, let's pull this bad boy out for you. And let me indent it. Okay, so step number 1 is going to be identify a niche. All right, when you're starting out online, I want you to focus on identifying a niche, not a product, but a niche, okay? So identify a niche. Now, when you're identifying a niche to start marketing online, it needs to be something that you are not necessarily you are passionate about, but other people are passionate about, okay? So one of the fatal mistakes most people make when they're starting out an e-commerce business or an online business in general is they try to turn their passion into a profit. And look, you know, there's all sorts of self-help and, you know, motivation and personal development and stuff that talks about turning your passion into your profit, and that's great. If you can turn your passion into your profit, that's amazing. You certainly should. But the fact of the matter is that your passion is not always everybody else's passion. And in order to profit off of something, you have to have something that other people like, right? You have to have something that other people in an abundance want and are also passionate about. So step 1 is identify a niche that not you are passionate about, but everybody else out there. There's a broad spectrum of people that are passionate about this niche. Now, if you want to keep it really basic, right? You want to keep it mega basic and identify a passionate niche, I always recommend to people grandparents. The grandparent niche is like one of the most passionate niches out there. Grandparents love their grandkids. Grandparents treat their grandchildren better than they treat their own children. I've witnessed this. And, you know, that's a powerful thing, right? And there are a ton of different options within the grandparent niche that you can start marketing. I mean, there's just all sorts of stuff. I started out with the grandparents niche marketing t-shirts. I had t-shirts that had funny, cute, and slogans on them or quotes. So I started marketing t-shirts that said funny things about grandparents on them. And I went on to do well over 6 figures just in that niche in 1 year, actually in like a couple of months. I mean, it just crushed it. And now I have a huge email list, which we'll talk about, of people that I know are grandparents, okay? So that's going to be huge. So identify a niche. What's something else that people would be passionate about? So I'm going to get some engagement from you guys. What is a niche that you feel people might be passionate about aside from grandparents? Because I mean, that's like a no-brainer, right? I want to get your brains, you know, I want to get your brains working. I want to get your gears spinning. So just write in the chat box. So we got pets, hunting, yoga, beards, nurses, fishing, golf, firefighters, okay, babies, horseback riding, kids sports, kayaking, golf, veterans, NFL, weight loss. Rather than weight loss, I would say fitness. People are more passionate about fitness. People want to lose weight for sure, but fitness in general is like a lifestyle, right? Is that people live and breathe fitness. That's why everybody's wearing yoga pants now. All right, beer. Beer is a niche that people are passionate about. But, you know, how can we identify a niche like beer as a truly a niche people are passionate about? Are they just passionate about beer? No. They're passionate about microbrewing beer. That would be a niche that you're going to find a passionate group of people in, is microbrewing beer. Or not beer like Bud Light and Budweiser, but those API beers, the ones that have the higher alcohol contents, the gourmet beers. See, you can take something that's really broad like beer, and if you understand how to think like a marketer, then you can quickly pull that niche apart and turn it into a super mega passionate niche, right? You just got to break it down a little bit. So I'm just looking over here on my live feed. I want to see if we have anybody interacting with the live feed and any suggestions in there. So if you're watching my Facebook Live video, I want to be able to see, maybe it just never shows me the comments. I don't know what the deal is. Vaping, Teresa says vaping. Yeah, a lot of people are big on vaping now. I've seen it. There's all sorts of crazy videos of people vaping. We've got kids. Politics are huge. So John Jay says politics are huge. So I'm reading my GoToWebinar comments and my Facebook Live comments. Anton, yes, people are passionate about that, but you don't want to advertise that on Facebook, okay? You want to stay compliant, which is going to be important. Pets. Yeah, my little pup, Maverick, I live and breathe for Maverick. Anything I can get for that dog, I do. He's got so many toys. He's got like 5 beds, 20 bones, and I'm now understanding what it's like to be a pet owner and how passionate pet owners are about their animals. So identify a very passionate niche, right? And Charlie said it. He said, the issue with vaping is you can't advertise it, and that's right. When you're advertising on Facebook specifically, you want to make sure that your #1 priority is compliance, okay? Now, how do you know if something's compliant or not? That's a really great question. How do you know if something is compliant or not? Now, one key way to figure out if something is compliant or not is if you feel like it might not be okay, don't do it. If there's even the slightest little question in your mind that this might not be something that Facebook will be okay with you advertising, don't do it. There's plenty more fish in the sea, right? Better safe than sorry. Work with Facebook rather than against Facebook. That's going to be mega important. So as a matter of fact, write that down, because so many people screw that up. They try to work against Facebook, like Facebook's out to get them and screw them over. That is not true. Facebook are amazing. Facebook treat me so well. They want to help me grow and scale my business. And they really do roll out the red carpet for me in a lot of cases. So write this down. Work with Facebook, not against Facebook. Compliance is the #1 key to success for long-term business on Facebook. Compliance, okay? So there are going to be some niches that you can't necessarily, you can't necessarily advertise. So, but common sense tells you that, right? Another thing you can do is you can go to Google and you could type in something like, I think it's like Facebook advertising guidelines. They have a link inside of Facebook. I just didn't feel like looking for it. But you can come over here to advertising policies, And for those of you that are watching the live stream, you can't see my screen right now, but if you're on the webinar, you can. And just read this over. What I do is I read Facebook's advertising guidelines every week. Every single week I read it in case they make a little change. It doesn't take long. I mean, look, it's a really short, you can read this whole thing in about 15 minutes. But stay up to date with what's compliant. That's going to be key. All right? Stay up to date with what's compliant. Now, let's go back to our niches. Step number 1 was identify a niche. But don't just identify a niche. Identify a passionate niche. Fishermen. Fishing is a very passionate niche. People are mega passionate about fishing. Hunting. People are very passionate about hunting. They'll go sit out in the freezing cold at 5 o'clock in the morning just to get one deer, or I don't hunt, so I don't really, honestly, I don't know how it works. I just know that people wake up mega early, they go sit up in a tree all day or a stand in the freezing cold so they can hunt. To me, that's like, oh my gosh. But hey, wait a second. Nobody cares what I think, right? Nobody cares that I think that's crazy. What matters is that a ton of people live and breathe for hunting, right? That is a huge niche that people are very passionate about. But what kind of hunting are they passionate about? People aren't always just passionate about hunting. They might be passionate about deer hunting or duck hunting or turkey hunting or whatever other types of hunting there are, right? And that's what you need to start understanding about identifying a niche. Is don't just identify a random niche, identify a passionate niche. All right, so for everybody in here watching, does everybody understand what I just went over? Step number 1, identifying a niche. Just type in got it. All right, type in got it on Facebook Live, type in got it on GoToWebinar. I want to make sure everybody's got that, because without step 1, you can never get to step 2, okay? If you screw up step 1, the rest of the steps are going to screw up as well. It's like a mathematical equation. You mess up one single step in the math equation, the whole entire equation is going to be screwed up. You're going to get the wrong answer at the end. You're not going to get what you're looking for. Step 1, identify a passionate niche. Now, let's talk about step number 2. Step number 2 is identify a product within that niche, right? So identify a product within that niche. So once you identify your niche, now you need to find a product. Now, for e-commerce, this could be a t-shirt, it could be a coffee mug, it could be, like for hunting, it could be a flashlight, it could be a phone cover. There's a lot of different things. A hoodie. There's a lot of different things that you could start to find. So choose a product, right? Find a product that aligns with the passionate niche that you're marketing, but make sure it's something people actually want. So I come over here to AliExpress. I may even come over here to Amazon. It doesn't matter. I'm just doing product research. And I'll type in something like hunting gear. All right, so I've typed in hunting gear, and 145,000 different products come up for hunting gear. Now, what type of products are they? We've got waterproof LED headlamps. You've got funny T-shirts. You've got Under Armour men's camo gloves. You've got Ninja cotton full hood masks. You've got paracord survival compasses and watches. You've got Under Armour men's looks like insulated socks. Now, of course, there's some things in here you're not going to be able to advertise. Like you can't advertise knives on Facebook and stuff. The waterproof fishing waders. I mean, so it's really easy to quickly identify a product in a passionate niche. I mean, let's say I typed in bass fishing. All right, people might be very passionate about bass fishing. All types of lures come up for bass fishing. I mean, an insane amount. Books come up for bass fishing. Just for bass fishing alone, we have 69,000 different products. All right, dogs. People are passionate about dogs, but they're not just passionate about dogs necessarily. They may love pugs, right? So we could type in pug. All right, we type in pug, and there's all sorts of different things that come up. And I mean, you know, there's just a zillion different options. So identify your niche and start after that finding products that are unique that align with that niche, okay? So step number 2 is identify a product. Now, not every product that you identify is going to be a killer product. That's just not going to happen. I mean, you know, it's you win some and you lose some. For me, usually 9 times out of 10, I'm a winner. But then, of course, there are those times where I choose a product and it just, you know, it doesn't work. You know, people don't buy it. So what do? I kill it. I kill the ad once I realize nobody wants it. Don't get emotionally attached to the product. So I'm talking about niches. I've gone over what not to do and what to do with that. Well, step number 2, identifying a product. This is a simple task, but what really hurts people on step number 2 is they identify a product and they become emotionally attached to that product. They want it to work really bad, right? They feel like you always want your idea to be a good idea. How many of you in here have ever been making a suggestion in a group of people? Let's say you're all trying to decide where you're going to go on vacation, or where you're going to go for dinner tonight, or what movie everybody's going to go see. How many of you have made a suggestion and had somebody else say, oh, that's not really a good idea. Let's go somewhere else. Has that ever happened to you before, where you make a suggestion, but other people are like, oh, yeah, I mean, no, like, I think maybe we should do this. All right, Carolyn says absolutely. Susan says yes. Sophie says, yep, happened to me. And let's see, Ursula, sorry if I messed that up. Patricia, Christine. And all right, let's look at Facebook and see if it's happened to people on Facebook. Jan, Tony, Anton. I wish I could see more of the comments in here, but it won't let me open it up and make it bigger. Edwin, Don, Sean, I think it's Shante, Therese. All right, what happens when somebody else shoots down your idea? You start to try to fight for it, right? How many of you fight for your idea, the push to get your idea to be the one that works, that everybody accepts? Has that ever happened to any of you, where you end up trying to push for your idea? So Mina says yes, Christine, Sophie, Gregory, Sandy, Anthony, Patricia. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, not all the time. All right, sometimes we try to push to make our idea be the one that in the end that wins. You need to make sure that the juice is going to be worth the squeeze if that's something you do. All right, you can't be bleeding money pushing to make your idea be the best idea. That's not going to do you any good whatsoever. So with a product, you can't become emotionally attached to the product. You just can't do it. You have to make sure that you know when to kill the product and understand people aren't going to buy it. They're not interested in it. All right, so picking a product is easy, right? It's knowing when to, you know, kill it, accept the loss, and try something else. That's where people screw up. I've seen so many people spend thousands of dollars trying to get one product to work, and I'm like, look, if it's not working, why do you care about it so much? Just find something else. You saw there's like 150,000 things for hunting that came up. Choose a different one. The goal is to make money. It's not to have your idea be the best idea, right? What makes you more happy? Your idea and your passion being the best thing in the world, or a whole bunch of money in your bank account? How many of you would rather have a whole bunch of money in your bank account than your idea be the best idea? All right, so Linda, just type in money. Type in money if you'd rather take the money than be the one that had the best idea. All right, so Christine, Warren, Brent, Leon, Charisse, Jacob, Ray, Terry, Leslie, Sandy. Let's look over at Facebook real quick. Let's see what everybody on Facebook has to say. So Anton, Therese, Edwin, okay. Yeah, I mean, Craig says he'd rather take the money. Ken City says he'd rather take the money. That's what I've come to, that is what I've started to come to the realization of, that it doesn't matter what I think. You know, I mean, I want my product idea to work. I want my passion to work, right? I want my brain to have the best idea. It feels good, right? It feels good when you're the one that has the best idea. But you also need to know when to accept when something fails. Cut it off. Don't waste money trying to force something that just simply is not, okay? So step one, identify a niche, a passionate niche, okay? Not beer, but special types of beer, gourmet beer, API beer. I think it's API, IAP, something like that. I told y'all I'm not a big drinker. I like a dirty martini with no vermouth, extra dirty here and there. But I mean, I'm not a huge, I don't know all my alcohols. So step one is identify a passionate niche. Step two is identify a product that aligns with that niche. But understand, they're not all going to work. Know when to kill that product. All right, now let's look at step three. Step three is probably this is where most people get stumped. Come on, let me make it bigger. Step three is where most people get stumped. All right, so step three is traffic. Step number three is getting traffic. Now, there are many, many outlets by which you can get traffic. You've got Facebook ads, you've got Google AdWords, you've got Pinterest, which now allows advertising, which I'm working on. Instagram now has advertising, right? So these are like the four big traffic sources: Google, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest, at least in my eyes. Unless I'm, forgetting something, those to me are the big ones. And Facebook is by far the biggest and the baddest. Now, I want to tell you what not to do when it comes to traffic. How many of you in here would like for me to tell you what not to do when it comes to traffic? All right, I'm going to look at GoToWebinar and Facebook Live. Okay, so Troy, Patricia, all right. So I see a whole bunch of people saying, I want to know. Type in, I want to know. Just type in, I want to know. If you want to know what not to do when it comes to traffic. So many people mess this up. I did it myself. I screwed it up so many times when I was first starting out. Okay, cool. So as you can see, there's a lot of people saying, I want to know, flying in, and you can't see the GoToWebinar chat, but there's hundreds of people saying, I want to know over there. All right, so this is kind of simple. It's kind of common sense, but what you should not do when it comes to traffic is try to get traffic from everywhere. Don't try to get traffic from Google, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook all at the same time, okay? So many people, they dive in head first, and they end up hitting their head on the bottom of the concrete, right? They're on Google, they're on Facebook, they're like this. They're like, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta go over here, I gotta do this over here. Well, how are these stats over here doing this right here? Oh, what's over here? You're strung out. You can't go in and master 5 different traffic sources at one time. So many of the students I've talked to, they're dabbling in a little bit of everything, okay? Choose a traffic source, and I want you, when you choose that traffic source, be it Facebook or anywhere else, say, I'm going to master this traffic source. I'm going to crush this traffic source. I'm not going to get distracted by all of this hearsay over here or what this blog says over here. or what my buddy says back there. This is the traffic source that I'm going to choose. This is the traffic source that I'm going to master, and you focus on that traffic source until you become a ninja at that traffic source. And that's what I did with Facebook. I was going all around Facebook, Google. I was getting mobile traffic. I was media buying different places. And I was doing okay, but I wasn't a master of anything. Now, when you hear people talk about me online or at events, they're usually saying, this guy is a master of Facebook ads. Adrian is a ninja at Facebook ads. Adrian is one of the best at Facebook ads. Now, why is that? It's because many years ago, I sat down, I said, I want to be the best. I would rather be the best at one thing than okay at a bunch of things, right? I would much rather, maybe you should write that down. I would rather be the best at one thing than okay at a bunch of different things, all right? And I said, I want to master Facebook ads. And that's what I did. I live and I breathe Facebook ads. I don't get distracted by what my buddy Charles No tells me about mobile traffic, right? I don't get distracted about what I read over here on this blog about Google AdWords and the great changes that they're making. I say, I want to master Facebook. And guess what? You know, when you master Facebook ads, or you master one thing, guess what you can do? You can go master a second thing, right? Once you know it, it's like riding a bike, right? You master one traffic source. You work at just that until you crush it. And then what you do is you move on to the next one. And that's how you become a master of various different traffic sources. Right now, I'm mastering email marketing. I've already mastered Facebook. Now I'm mastering email marketing, and I'm also mastering Instagram, which is very similar to Facebook actually. So I take it one step at a time, and I become the best at whatever I'm focusing on. And being really ADD in school, that was my problem. And I think it's a problem for a lot of kids and adults right now, especially in like college. What would happen is I would go into class number 1, and we'd be talking about mathematical equations. I'd spend an hour or an hour and a half going over math problems. Then I would jump into a political science class. Then I would jump over into a literature class, right? And I'm sitting there skipping around to all these classes, and my brain cannot absorb everything that I'm learning because I'm learning so many different things. But if I went to various classes on one subject, then all of a sudden I could master it much easier. So when it comes to like school, I did really bad because I'm the type of person that needs to master one thing at a time. Now you do have those special people out there that are geniuses that can master so many things so quickly. They're speed readers, and they just have minds that can take pictures, and they can remember images and stuff and read them in their minds. It's crazy. My brother is kind of like that. But people need to master one thing at a time. And that's where I screwed up in college. All right, so now, step 3, traffic. Master one traffic source. Identify your traffic source and work at it until it works. Work at it until it works. Don't give up because you lost $13. Don't give up because you lost 40 bucks, okay? You work at it wisely, taking educated and calculated risks, all right, until you master it. And that's how everybody becomes successful. It is very hard to become successful without failing first. Sometimes you need to fail in order to succeed. So choose your traffic source, accept it, crush it, master it, don't quit, be persistent. Repetition is key. The more you fail, the more you learn. and the closer you get to success. Now, you want to minimize that failure, right? You do want to minimize the failure, but don't consider a failed campaign a total loss. It was a learning experience. All right, so let's just review. Step one, identify your niche. But what kind of a niche are you going to identify? I want to see you type in, what type of niche did I say to identify? I want to see if y'all picked up on it. All right, Ken, Joe, Richard, y'all got it. Let me just come up here to my Facebook page. Type in, what type of niche did I say you need to identify? There you go, Daniel, you got it. Passionate, a niche that people are passionate about. Think about that when you're looking for things to market. It doesn't matter if it's e-commerce. It could be anything. It could be any type of business. Make sure that you can have a group of people that are passionate about it. All right, cool. So the second thing is your product. All right, identify products that align with that passionate niche. Know when to kill the product, okay? No, don't become emotionally attached to the product. Look at what other people are buying, and if your ad's not working, don't continue pushing the same ad that's failing. Start over. Tweak your ad, tweak your image, tweak your ad copy, tweak your targeting, tweak all of these different variables until you can crush it. Step 3 is traffic. Identify one traffic source and crush that one traffic source. Don't get distracted because you're reading a whole bunch of blogs saying you should be doing all this other stuff, okay? Stick to one thing, and that's how you hyper-focus and master it. Now, step 4 is get sales. So you need to convert sales. I mean, look, you get the traffic, that's great, but now you need to convert that traffic into sales. So step 4 is get sales, make money, right? Make money, get sales. Now, of course, in order for step 4 to work, obviously steps 1, 2, and 3 have to be on point. But your main goal is to generate income, is to generate sales. Now, when it comes to sales and sales generation, there's quite a few things that you can do to increase those sales. So when I say get sales, everybody knows you need sales. I don't think I'm teaching you anything by saying you need to get sales. But step number 4 is focus on your sales. Now, what do I mean by focus on your sales? Optimize upon them, right? Monetize your customers at the highest rate possible, meaning start working with upsells, with cross-sells, right? With down-sells. Now, when I started making money in e-commerce, I was doing like $10,000 a day, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm doing 10 G's a day on e-commerce, something I never even thought I would do a year and a half ago. And I kind of plateaued. I kind of hit this point where 10 grand a day was all I was able to really to do. It just stopped. I was making 10 grand a day. Don't feel bad for me. I mean, it's a lot of money, but you never have enough, you know? You never have enough when it comes to online marketing. It's like a game. It's not about, oh, I'm only making 10 grand in sales. It's how do I get to 12 grand? How do I get to 15? How do I get to 20? Because I know that the sky is the limit. Nobody wants to plateau. Nobody wants to hit a ceiling, right? They want to continue to grow. So what I did is I started focusing on my sales because, look, I had mastered step number 1. I had mastered choosing niches, mastered choosing products that converted. I had mastered getting the right traffic. And step number 4 is, how can I master squeezing ROI out of my sales? So what I started doing is incorporating different upsells with my products. So when somebody would buy product A, I would say, wait a second, would you like to save 25% on product B as well? And I saw about 20% of my customers start taking these upsells, right? So about 20% of my customers started taking these upsells, and it started making me hundreds of extra dollars a day, in some cases thousands of extra dollars a day. And all of a sudden, after I started incorporating these upsells, I jumped to $15,000 to $16,000 a day because I was using cross sales and I was using upsells. I was further monetizing my traffic. So when I say step 4, get sales, I'm not saying, oh, get sales. I'm saying focus on sales. How can you increase your sales? How can you build upon the traffic that you're already generating, right? How can you squeeze more return on investment out of your current traffic to generate more sales? So what I want everybody to do now is in the chat box and in Facebook Live, I want you to type in hashtag ROI, return on investment, hashtag ROI. I just want to see a bunch of hashtag ROIs because once you start getting the sales, you need to optimize upon that. You need to build upon that traffic. You need to squeeze every single drop of juice out of the orange. All right, you can see over here all the ROIs coming in on Facebook. All right, so make sure that you don't just accept what you're getting directly from the traffic to your ads. Figure out once you have that traffic coming into your website, when you have it coming into your store, how can you take that traffic while it's on your store and turn it into traffic that's going to double or triple what just direct response ads are making you, okay? How can you get them to get more stuff? That's going to be key. All right, so that's traffic. Now, the last thing, step number 4, is going to be emails. It's not step number J5, it's step number 5. Step number 5 is emails. Now let me make this bigger for everybody. All right, step number 5 is emails. Now this is kind of a, you can't get to step number 5, as you all know, without mastering the first 4 steps. All right, with e-commerce, email marketing is it's the last piece of the puzzle. And it kind of goes with step 4, really, because emails generate sales. Emails will generate sales. But step number 5 is once you've got a product and a niche that's rocking, you got traffic flooding into your store or your product or your sales page, and you're optimizing all of that traffic to generate as many sales possible. Now you want to start emailing. And somebody asked me where my where my Diet Coke was or my Diet Ginger Ale. I came up here to the office and I thought we had like a fully stocked fridge up here, and all we had was one water, and it's good, but I would much rather have my Diet Coke from Chick-fil-A or my Diet Ginger Ale. Earlier today, on my Facebook Live, I showed everybody my Diet Ginger Ale. So, step number 5, email marketing. Identify a platform you want to use for email marketing. For e-commerce specifically, I like to use MailChimp. All right, in case I'm slurring my words with my southern accents, here is the page for MailChimp. MailChimp is free. It works the best for e-commerce. Now, for other platforms, for like digital marketing, internet marketing, other niches, you're going to have like GBO, GetResponse, and Aweber are going to be great. But if you're doing e-commerce, hands down, for me, MailChimp has been great. And I got to tell you, I used to hate MailChimp. I asked one buddy of mine, it's in a mastermind, I asked him why he was using MailChimp. I was like, that's so stupid, MailChimp sucks, why would you use MailChimp? And over the past 8 months, I've completely changed my mind, which once again goes to show it doesn't matter what you think, what matters is what works the best. I thought MailChimp was a terrible platform at one point. And then I opened up my eyes and said, oh, this is freaking awesome. I mean, for e-commerce, they're the best. I mean, for me, they work the best. So I'm not always necessarily, saying that whatever I say is the best. I learn from other people, and I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong about something. And I was wrong a year ago about MailChimp because I wasn't using it for the right things. I was using it for other types of marketing, but for e-commerce, it's just a great platform, and they connect straight into your Shopify store. So if you're using Shopify, if you go to apps, you can see they have their own app. It's free. It is a free app. So if you go to the Shopify App Store and you type in MailChimp, don't get this one. You would think it's this one right here with the colored logo of the MailChimp logo. It's not. It's the one that's ugly and green and gray. It says MailChimp for Shopify. And it will connect directly to your Shopify store all of your leads that are coming in and buying things and potentially adding products to the cart. They'll start stacking up. And I got to tell you, email marketing has just changed the way I run my e-commerce business. I sent my first email in November. I started my e-commerce businesses in July. Yeah, July 3rd is when I started it. And I didn't send my first email until November. Now when I send emails to my list, which is about 350,000 people, I'll make anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 on an email promotion to my e-commerce list. And I do it once a week. Once a week, right? Boom, just like that. At least minimum on a bad promotion, $10,000. So if I cut all of my traffic off, if I turned everything off, Facebook ads, everything, and I just sent emails, I would still make minimum 10 grand a week, upwards to $100,000 a month potentially, just emailing. Now, step number 5, of course, is going to help you optimize and monetize your traffic and generate more sales, sure. But the reason step number 5 is here is because this is how you lock in a long-term successful business. Because no matter what happens to any traffic source online, if you're email marketing, you're always going to be able to generate sales, right? And it doesn't cost any money. I mean, you've got your monthly fee to be a part of your autoresponder. I think I pay MailChimp because I have so many leads, okay? They're free up to like a couple thousand leads, but I got 350,000 leads in there, and I think I pay $300 a month. So I pay MailChimp about $300 a month to allow me to email. One email makes me $20,000 to $30,000, or one email promotion makes me $20,000 to $30,000. How many of you in here feel like it is worth the monthly fee that I pay of $300 or whatever to be a part of MailChimp to make even $10,000 per email promotion? And I do that 4 times a month. I'm seeing lots of yeses. Now, somebody asked me if I use Rare. I did used to use Rare, but they got a lot of stuff they need to fix, a lot of issues they need to start working on. And I'm an action taker. When I say I need something, I need it now. I don't need it 3 months from now. I don't have time to baby you and hold your hand and teach you how to build your email marketing platform. I just need the tools that are necessary for me to generate the maximum amount of sales. So for those of you that asked about Rare, it's another autoresponder that integrates with Shopify. It is sick. I mean, they got some really awesome tools in there, but they got a lot of things that they need to do, and they weren't listening to me. So I bailed and I went to MailChimp. Now, for those of you that are new, you're not going to pay with MailChimp. You're not going to pay what I pay. I mean, they're holding 300,000 emails. You can sign up for free, and they will allow you to have, it's on here somewhere, I think it's like 1,000 emails or so in their free trial. I wish I could see how much it is, but maybe this will show us. Yeah, so I think they'll allow you to have up to 2,000 subscribers. Don't hold me to that. It might be 500 for all I know. But the point is you can get started for free. And if you're getting a whole bunch of emails, then you should be able to afford the like $50 a month fee or $20 a month fee the autoresponder charges. How many of you would agree that if you had 2,000 or 3,000 targeted emails and the cost to have those emails in your autoresponder was $30 a month, that you should be able with 3,000 targeted emails to generate $30 a month plus some gravy? All right, Mina says yes. William, Carolyn, Joe, Tom, Greg. All right, Debbie. Hey, Debbie. See you in here every week. You're awesome. John J, Linda, Daniel, right? So the great thing about email marketing is it's one of those things that allows you to kind of grow and without having to pay a whole bunch of money up front. If you don't have a whole bunch of emails, you're not spending a whole bunch of money on a monthly fee. Oftentimes they'll let you have a couple hundred leads for free in there and allow you to make some money. So it's a beautiful thing. But email marketing is step 5. It's a long-term business. When I started talking to a broker about selling my Shopify store, I started 8 months ago. The first thing he asked me is, how big is your email list? How big is it? That's what he wanted to know. Not how much money are you generating every month from Facebook ads. How big is your email list? And I told him, and he said, awesome. That's what people like to see. That's what people want. Because an email list is a long-term asset. Traffic comes and it goes. Emails stay in your account, and when you hit send, they're going to get that email. They may not always open it, but when you hit send, it's going to go in their inbox one way or the other. And it gives you control. It gives you the ability to take control of your business, control your destiny, without having to rely on all of these other factors. All right, so email marketing is the one thing. I've been talking to a lot of 6- and 7-figure marketers in the e-commerce space, and it is mind-blowing how many of them are not emailing their leads. It's unbelievable. Even right now, I have to lay back and sigh for a moment. But people don't know what it is that they don't know. My brother is a master email marketer, right? So he taught me that I need to be sending emails. And I tell all of these other guys, look, start pressing send, because you're leaving boatloads of money on the table. If you have this huge email list and you're not mailing it, you're wasting money. I remember the first time I got one of my buddies to send an email to his list. He had like 30,000 people on his list, and it made him a couple $1,000 bucks. He messaged me and was like, holy cow, I cannot believe this, dude. Why haven't I been emailing these people all this time? How many thousands of dollars have I left on, or tens of thousands of dollars have I left on the table all year? And it just blew his mind. And now he's like an avid email marketer. So you can't forget to email. So many people get focused on traffic and sales, traffic and sales, traffic and sales. They forget step 5. If you don't complete the formula, you're not going to get the right answer, right? You're going to have the entire formula to get the right answer, right? And to get the result. So you can't focus on step 3 and 4. And this is what most people do. Most people focus on step 3 and 4. They skim over 1 and 2. Most of them will bypass number 1. They just go look for a random product, right? And they focus on 3 and 4. While these are important things to focus on, this is where your long-term money is. This is the long-term money. This is the, oh, I'm having a bad day. on sales, I want to cheer myself up. Let me write an email and hit send and make a whole bunch of money because I've got a massive email list of buyers, right? And that's what I do. If I'm having a bad day for sales, maybe you know, my ads are having a little slump or something, I'll just send out an email, and I gotta tell you, it makes my day a lot better. I mean, a lot better. I start seeing that traffic rush in, and I'm like, okay, all is good, right? So step 5 is longevity, stability, and security. And it also is great if you won't need an exit plan for your business, because it's an asset that a lot of people are going to want if you were to ever sell your business. All right, so let's just take a look at some of your questions. All right, Victor says, but you have a massive list. Yeah, I've got a massive list. Why do I have a massive list? Let me tell you why I have a massive list, Victor. I have a massive list because I did step 1, I did step 2, and I did step 3, and I did step 4. That's why I have a massive list. And that is why I didn't say step number 1 is email marketing. I said step number 5. Because you've got to go through steps 1 through 4 before you start generating an email list, right? You need to be generating traffic, targeted traffic to products and passionate niches that convert into sales. And as that happens, your email list organically grows. You don't have to do anything special to grow your email list. You just have to focus on steps 1 through 4, and your email list will build itself. Now, you need to understand, you need to recognize that you have a valuable asset there in your email list, and you need to start to monetize it, right? You need to start monetizing that email list rather than ignoring it. And a lot of people, they're focused on steps 1 through 4, and they just don't do step 5, and it costs them insane amounts of money. How many of you are with me on that? Just type in, I'm with Adrian. If you're with me on that, just type in, I'm with Adrian. I just want to see everybody. Oh, I see. All right, here it comes. I'm with Adrian. I'm with Adrian. Okay, cool. All right, so I see all that come in. I love the engagement that I'm getting tonight. You guys rock. I mean, there are so many people on GoToWebinar. It's just so fast. My chat box is like that little on webinar, and I can only see four comments at a time on Facebook ads. But you know, this is the truth. Your email list will organically grow itself. It will just be, if you do steps 1 through 4, your email list will be sitting there waiting on you like a golden egg, and you just have to know what to do with it. Step number 5. All right. So let's just recap the 5 steps. So step number 1, find a niche. Not just a niche. You can't say, oh, I like pins. I'm going to market pins. Nobody cares about pins. You want to know what kind of pins people care about? Those special pins that are mega expensive, that have the crazy arrowheads at the tip, and they're more like for people that are business savvy, that sign contracts all day and stuff like that. So I could take this pin and I can make it a passionate niche, but you have to understand what type of pin are people passionate about, and then who is it that's passionate about these really expensive fancy pins, right? There are people that pass these types of pins down from generation to generation, right? So don't just identify a niche. When you look at a niche, identify what could people be passionate about when it comes to that niche. Step number 2, find your product. And there's a zillion products. I mean, you know, you're going to have to test your products. Know when to kill them. Know when to kill a product that nobody's buying. If nobody wants it, don't try to force feed people your product. Give the people what they want, and they'll take it, right? It's so much easier to stick your hand out, right? It's so much easier to stick your hand out and let an animal just, you know, nibble the food out of your hand. If they want the food, you put the treat in your hand, you stick it out there, an animal's they're gonna take it, right? If you start trying to put something that tastes like crap out there, not a treat, but maybe like medicine. All right, we had to give our little Maverick some medicine the other day because he's got allergies, and he didn't want it. We had to force him to take it, and it wasn't pleasant, but he needed it. Don't try to force feed your customers. Give them what they want, and they'll take it, right? Step number 3, traffic. Step number 3 is going to be traffic. Focus on one traffic source. Don't focus on a zillion. I don't care what your best friend said. I don't care what so-and-so's blog said, okay? Focus on one traffic source that you identify as the one that you want to crush, that you want to master, that you want to be a ninja at, and you focus on that until you're freaking killing it. When you're killing it on that traffic source, then you can go focus on traffic source B, C, and D, okay? But you become the best at one thing at a time, and I promise you, the road and path to success will be much smoother and it will be much shorter for you. Step 4 is start focusing on sales. Once you get to step 4, start thinking about how can I optimize and further monetize upon this traffic. How can I get them to buy more stuff? Can I upsell them, cross-sell them, downsell them? Can I add more products to my store that they might add additionally to their cart? And step number 5 is once you got all steps 1 through 4 crushing, is now it's time to start emailing. Start sending emails because by this time you've built up a list. Start shooting out emails to your customers once a week, at least once a week, and generating that extra cash flow that's just sitting there waiting for you to take it. You just have to hit send in order for that to happen, okay? So don't forget about your email list. All right, and that is the 5 steps to starting a successful online e-commerce business. And you got those 5 steps from my Profit Power Hour webinar. Now, I'm not always going to stream these Profit Power Hour webinars on Facebook Live. So if you're watching this on Facebook Live right now, you're just in for a special treat. I only allow my VIP students that register on my Profit Power Hours. I don't stream these live to the world. This is the first time, and that is because Facebook is this Facebook Live thing is new. I want everybody to get a preview of what a Profit Power Hour is like with me. I do these every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. EST. I'm not going to stream them all on Facebook. You're going to have to get on GoToWebinar. You're going to have to register, and it's better that way because you'll be able to see my screen. If you've been watching this live video, you haven't seen anything but me talking. I'm sure it's been beneficial and educational, but it's much cooler when you can see my face and my computer screen. So if you have not registered for my Profit Power Hour webinars, if you look above this video, pph4training.com, you can go there and you can register, and I'll let you in. And there's limited amount of seats. Sometimes we fill up, sometimes we don't. But I'm always trying my best to deliver value, be it advanced knowledge or like tonight, beginner knowledge. And sometimes even for advanced marketers, it's good to go back to the basics. It's good to get slapped around a little bit with some of that basic knowledge, get back to the roots of where you started and how you became successful, and remember how you got there, because sometimes across the path to success, you know, you start to forget how you got to where you are, and sometimes you hit a plateau. So when you hit that plateau, when you hit that ceiling, you got to go back to those basics and say, how did I get here, right? I use steps 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's how I got here. Let's rinse and let's repeat, and let's do it again. So I want to make sure on these Profit Power Hours I give advanced knowledge, which I've been doing the past couple of weeks, especially when talking about the Facebook advertising pixel. And I give that basic knowledge because we have a lot of newbies in here that just want to make their first $1. All right, so how many of you in here enjoyed the 5 simple steps to starting your online e-commerce business? Say hashtag loved it. Just do hashtag loved it if you enjoyed it. So I want to see it on Facebook Live and in GoTo. I'm getting tons in GoTo. I see a lot coming over here in Facebook Live, which is cool. It's cool to watch these kind of just like scroll down. Very, very fun. All right, so look, we're going to give away another $200. We're going to give away another 200 bucks. Now, if you want to win the 200 bucks, you need to come over to my Facebook page, okay? And under this video right here, I want you to leave me an honest review. I want you to leave me a review on tonight's Profit Power Hour, and if you enjoyed the 5 simple steps breakdown. So leave me a review here in the comments section, and I'm going to go through all of these, and I'm going to try to choose a winner, okay? So I'm going to give y'all about, let's do like 3 or 4 minutes. If you'll leave me a review, I would like an honest review, right? So if you want to win the $200, I want to see some reviews roll over here. And look, I'm not saying you have to say something good. If you say something, you know, that it was too basic for you, or, you know, you didn't enjoy it, or it was boring, I'm not going to hate you. I appreciate any and all feedback. I'm here to serve you guys. That's what I want to do. I want to serve you. I want to help you grow your business, and I want to teach you what you need to learn in order to succeed. So I'm totally cool if you didn't enjoy it, but from the feedback I'm seeing in GoToWebinar and so far on Facebook Live, it feels like you guys are enjoying it. So I see all of this positive feedback coming in, so thank you guys for that. And another cool thing I'd like for you guys to do is after you leave a review for tonight, be it neutral, negative, or positive, is come over, and if you hover your mouse over the like button, if you hover your mouse over the like button, then all these little like reactions come up, and I'd love for you to leave me a reaction. You know, I like the hearts and I like the wow face. Those are always fun. I usually heart or wow face my own posts, but it's so much cooler than a like to get a reaction. So if you'll leave me some reactions, and if you would hit the share button, I'd love it if you would hit the share button too. It's always hard to get shares. Everybody's commenting and liking, but they're not sharing. I want more people to know about the Profit Power Hour. I want to spread the word. I appreciate every share that I get. You don't have to share. I'm not going to make you, but I would love it if you would. All right, so just a couple more minutes, and we're going to give away 200 bucks. I feel like tonight was great. I really enjoyed the presentation tonight. And you can see all of this, all of the comments rolling in. It's fun for y'all to be able to see this. It's really cool. They're just like rolling in. This is good. Because on GoToWebinar, I could see all the comments, but in GoToWebinar, the viewers cannot see the comments, only the organizer, which is me. So I like for all of you in here to be able to see it. It's really cool. So I love all of the love. I feed off of it. I enjoy it. You're going to see a lot more of me on Facebook Live, but you're not going to see a whole bunch of my Profit Power Hours being streamed on Facebook Live. These are VIP. Just make sure that you join. When you join, you will be a VIP. Now, Facebook Live tells me that I've only got 4 minutes left, because they only let me go for an hour and a half at a time before Facebook Live shuts off. Once this shuts off, it might even be in the top right of your screen. There should be a button somewhere that says Live Subscribe. And as soon as this Facebook Live video ends, we are going to, it will show a button, only for a brief amount of time, that says Live Subscribe. I want to make sure that you live subscribe. So when I do go live on Facebook, you know, right? When I go live, it's going to be organic, right? It's the only way. Everybody on my Facebook Live right now organically got here. I didn't send an email and say join my Facebook Live. So hit the live button on this video. It might be if you hover over the right-hand side or something, there might be a button where you can subscribe, or it's going to come on right after the video ends in about 3 minutes. There's going to be a button for a brief amount of time. Please live subscribe, because I want to do more of these Facebook Lives and I want to, I want you guys to join. So someone just said the live subscribe is in the top right-hand corner. So just hover your mouse over the top right-hand corner, and you'll see the live subscribe button. Or maybe you won't. I don't know. This is so new that, it's hard to tell. So I want to announce the winner before Facebook Live cuts me off, because they do limit me to an hour and a half. I'm going to see if I can get like whitelisted to go for longer, because it's way funner if I go for longer. Sometimes I might go for like 3 hours. I don't know. But please live subscribe. I feel like I'm begging. Maybe I am. I'll take you for another joyride. We'll hang out. We'll talk. Let's have a good time, and I'll answer questions. If you can't see the live subscribe button, it's going to show up once I end this Facebook Live video. It will show up, okay? But as you can see, some people saying it's in the right-hand corner. For some of you, it may not be. It's new. Facebook's still trying to figure things out. But when this video ends, you will see it say live subscribe, okay? So be on the lookout for it, because this video is going to end in 1 minute and 15 seconds, and that button's going to come up. So I want you to be looking at that button. Now, for now, let's choose a winner, okay? We're going to choose a winner for tonight for the $200 within the next minute, so I can announce it. When you become the winner, I want you to private message my fan page, your PayPal address, and I'm going to send you $200. If I land on somebody that already won recently, I want to be fair and give other people an opportunity. So let's just see where I land. All right, so Mark Perrier, let me like your post. Oh, where'd you go? Mark Perrier, right here. Mark Perrier, I messed up your name. Message me, okay? Private message me, Mark. I saw your photo and your name. I know who you are. You are the winner of tonight's $200 cash giveaway, Mark Perrier. I didn't get to read your entire last name, but I'll recognize it when you message me. Look, I got 10 seconds. This Facebook Live video is ending in 10 seconds. So now is the time if you're going to live subscribe. In 4 seconds, hit that live subscribe button, guys. All right, I'm still going to talk on the webinar. All right, so I'm still live on the webinar for those of you that are watching me. And we just gave away $200 cash money to Mark Perrier, and he is going to private message me his PayPal address. And wow, this was really awesome. At our peak, we had 113 viewers on Facebook Live. I sure wish that it just jumped up to 114 people or so right at the end. That would have been great to keep going, because I'm not done. I could talk for a little bit longer. All right, sweet. So we hit like 115 people on that Facebook Live. My goal, earlier today, my goal was to get 100 people. Now we broke that goal tonight. So remember, like I said earlier, small steps, set small goals. Now I'm going to try to get to 150, right? After that, maybe 200. If you're on my Facebook page now, you should see where it says live subscribe if that video ended. Man, it really stinks that they only let me go an hour and a half. We're going to have to fix that. Okay, so let's just see. Yeah, it still says I'm live on here. It might be lagging a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight. I know that it's not saying the notifications there. I just don't know how all that works yet, but it still says that I'm live. It may be lagging a little bit, so give it a moment and the video will show the live subscribe. Let me just refresh again. Yeah, Amanda says Ty went for over 2 hours live. Yeah, he's got a whitelisted account that can go for a little bit longer, which I'm going to work on getting done. So John Olson says he's subscribed. Jeremy says his just showed up. So go look now at the video and see if the live subscribe button shows up. really been fun trying to find this live subscribe button. But as you can see, it still says I'm live, so I don't know what's going on. But look, tonight we gave away 200 bucks. And I gave you the 5 simple steps to starting an online e-commerce business. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I am going to call it a night. Make sure that you keep an eye on my page. Maybe there's some things up here that you can click on to get notifications when I go live. Look around, watch this video. And I'm going to do more of these Facebook Lives. I'm going to chat with you guys. We're going to have a great time together. We're going to crush it. I'm going to serve you guys. I'm going to deliver value. I'm going to help you get to where you want to be and where you need to be to succeed. And I'm going to do that every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. EST right here on my Profit Power Hours. So I hope you enjoyed tonight. Thank you all for coming on. Thank you all for interacting with my Facebook Live. I hope some of you got to subscribe. I don't know how it works just yet. We'll figure it out one day. I'll see you next week at 9 p.m. EST on the next Profit Power Hour. Till then, I wish you a ton of success and God bless.